Okay, come on. Come on.
Yes, I'm coming.
Ooh, love it. Well, I used to say sunny California, not anymore. Now we are rainy, wet California.
No.
Yeah.
Mucho
You've
lluvia.
got 3 times more rain than Seattle has.
Sí. Wow.
Adriana, we only see half your head.
Is it better?
Yeah.
It's kind of like this.
I know,
Yeah.
like, I'm so tiny, you know that.
You need a higher chair.
I know. I'm gonna go get a pillow.
You got to sit on a book or something.
Good afternoon. Hey, Craig, can we get rid of the waiting room and just let everybody in?
Okay, this is better. See, now you can even see my t-shirt. I
Yes.
have my
Oh,
fashion
nice.
going on here.
There you go. I have my all real estate life one on.
Ooh, I like that. That's cool.
And you all be proud of me. I just got back from volunteering at the Yavapai Food Bank.
Oh, very
Yeah,
nice.
Women's Council of Realtors Prescott volunteered 3 of us this morning and then 3 more this afternoon.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
That's awesome.
Way to go. Woo.
Yeah, we need to get the community volunteering like this. So
Oh, let me get I need to get my internet down here.
Hi, Jay. Long time no see.
I know, Adriana. Thank you for all of your time with our network. You're just such a rock star.
It's a pleasure to be with you guys, ladies. So
I think Deborah is funny. Sunny Seattle. Rub it in, girl.
yeah,
Rub it
we
in.
used to be this sunny.
Hey, it's rare, ladies. It is rare that we are sunny and you are rainy.
Right.
Ah, there's
And we
Mr.
can't, and I
Martinez.
always say, don't complain, California, because one time I made the mistake of whining in December that I'm still wearing flip-flops. And I had so many hate mail, posts on my Facebook about, are you kidding me? We're in New York,
Oh.
below zero. We have blah, 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 frozen pipes, and you're whining because you still have to wear flip-flops in December.
No, we can't
No.
complain about the rain. We need it. And I have a little home garden that is loving it. So, hey,
it snowed up here this morning in Prescott.
it's no?
Wow.
Ooh, wow.
Welcome spring.
Okay, ladies,
Yeah.
well, it is 12:02, so we're gonna get the program started. So I would like to say hello, hello, and welcome to our second celebration of the Leaders of Women's Council of Realtors. We had hosted this first one in 2021 when I was president of LA Beverly Hills Network. You know, I'm a Women's Council member who embraces the sisterhood of Women's Council. I'm a passionate advocate of women in leadership and a big believer in volunteering with a purpose. I do believe volunteering pays dividends, as you will hear later from our amazing lineup of remarkable women leaders. So about today's program is about 2 hours with chances to win gift prizes throughout the entire program, ending with our networking session. So please prepare for the networking session where you have 30 seconds to pitch. And I suggest you write down your script. Here's my pitch, for instance. Hello, my name is Tawny English. I serve the greater Los Angeles area in California. Los Angeles is the home to both entertainment and tech industries. It is also where you can go skiing and go to the beach all on the same day. The average cost of a home is $890,000. And yes, you are paying for our great weather. Again, I'm Tawny English, your Los Angeles Women's Council connection, and I welcome all your referrals. Thank you. And I think I did that in 26 seconds. So I would like to hear from you guys, do that. And also feel free to put your information in the chat and save, because I will put mine in right now. So please feel free to follow suit. So I also want to let you know, we will be recording and Facebook live streaming. And if you have any questions, we will answer them at the end. So with no further ado, let's get the program started. I would like to do a throwback of 2021, I'm Women's Council. I am Women's Council.
Consider joining Women's Council of Realtors and elevate your business and leadership acumen.
You want to be in the room. You want to feel that energy or that power that women pursuing their purpose bring.
Never let the limitations somebody else tries to set for you limit what you know in your heart is meant for you.
La fuerza y la fe está dentro de ti.
To have peace in the midst of any storm.
All good deeds of kindness and gratitude can heal and transform the world.
Dream with ambition, lead with conviction, and see yourself in a way that others might not see you, simply because they've never seen it before.
Determination.
Focus.
Fe.
Humble.
Believe.
Dare to lead. Join us.
I
Am Women's Council.
I love that video. Yes, I'm biased. Okay, so before we do the Pledge of Allegiance, I would like to know, are there any veterans besides myself? I'm a Navy vet. If so, could you raise your virtual hand? Let's see, do I see any virtual hands raised? All right, Katrina. Let's see, I see Katrina. Let's see, just roll it down. Let's see if I see any more. Felicia Harrison, all right. And please put in the chat what branch you served. Okay, thank you, our fellow veterans, for your service. And with no further ado, I hand over the Pledge of Allegiance to our Sharon D. Robinson, who happens to be running for 2024 California State Liaison. Are you muted, Sharon? Wait, did we lose Sharon? Oh, I see Felicia. Okay, well, I will start it on her behalf. Okay, so place your right hand over your heart. Let's begin. I pledge of allegiance
To the flag.
the United States of
So
America.
sorry.
Okay. We'll begin again.
Are you
Miss
doing?
Sharon.
Okay, everybody stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
United
America.
States of America, and to the republic for
and
which
to
it
the
stands,
republic
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that, Grace. My internet is iffy today.
Well, thank you, Sharon, for that. Okay, I would like to introduce our 2023 Madam President, Jay Wu.
Thank you, Tawny, so much for all of your support in our network and being our past president of LA Beverly Hills Network. My leadership team is Kanika Kim as our treasurer. Our membership director is Jacqueline Lorenzana. Our first vice president is Therese Hyde, and our director of events is Pamela Houston. I came on this year as 2023 president, and will look forward to serving with all of you. Thank you so much.
Hey, and thank you for saying yes, Ms. J. And right now, I would like to say thank you to all of you who said yes this year to serve as a 2023 leader of Women's Council. Per national, by the way, I'm only sharing graphics of people who gave me permission to do so. Just to give you that disclaimer. So without any further ado, let's start with some of our state presidents. And then we have some of our state president-elects, some of our state first vice presidents, some of our state treasurers, some of our state liaisons, some of our local presidents, some of our local president-elects, some of our first vice presidents, some of our local treasurers, some of our membership directors, and some of our event directors. If I have missed anyone on any of these graphics, I'm putting a link to our job form, and we would update the graphics. We would send the updated graphics with the copy of the recording of today's event. So I'm gonna put that link in the chat so you can complete and send that so I can add you to the graphics. Again, I would like to thank you all for saying yes to serving as a leader at our Women's Council. Next, we have my favorite redhead lioness, who's one of the most inspirational speakers I know and appreciate. She is our California Association of Realtors Woman Up strategist. Her name, Deborah Trapin.
Thank you, Tawny. Well, when Tawny invited me to share an inspirational message for all of you amazing volunteer leaders, I knew exactly which segment of my sacred leadership retreat content that I wanted to focus on, and that is giving your best yes. Have you ever said yes when you wanted to say no? Drop a yep, that's me in the chat, because I want to talk with you about why you do it, first of all. So over the years, I've asked thousands of women, why do you say yes when you want to say no? And the answers are super consistent. Do any of these sound like you? I feel guilty. I feel obligated. I'm afraid people will think I'm a slacker or call me a bad leader, an unsupportive friend, not a team player. You want to avoid conflict or rejection? Or maybe you suffer from the number one answer, which is FOMO. So many of us say yes to things that are absolutely not aligned with who we are because we suffer from the fear of missing out, FOMO. We add more to our plate out of fear instead of ditching the senseless hustle and freeing our schedule so we have more time for what matters most to us, like being here today. It creates more margin to live our purposes out loud and on our own terms. So today, I want to inspire you to choose JOMO, the joy of missing out, and stop suffering from FOMO. There are some words that I use to help you choose your best yeses and your most confident nos for each invitation you receive from this day forward. The first is your core value words. These words are your why. When you know why you are saying no to something and that it's honoring who you are at your core, your truest values, your compass, your true north, it releases the shame and guilt and the FOMO. The second word I want to encourage you to use is peace. Now, peace is an acronym because most of us say yes immediately when invited to participate. Most of us say yes immediately when invited to participate in things. We really just don't slow down. We don't consider all the aspects of giving yes, who else is impacted, how we are, etc. So I created the acronym from the word peace. The P stands for pause. You don't have to answer everyone immediately. You can hit the pause button and properly examine and filter the opportunity through your values. Then you assess if you are the right person based on your goals, your experience, and your wisdom so that you can confidently choose wisely. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this does not guarantee you will always choose your best yes. However, the choice will be intentional. And then finally, E for execute. You get to execute a confident no or your best holy hell yes. The third word to use is small and mighty, and that word is no. I would love to invite all of you, wherever you are right now, to say the word no out loud. Go ahead, just shout. No.
No.
Okay, do it again. Like
No.
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 Oh, yes, I love hearing it all. Okay, no really is a complete sentence, and it doesn't require additional explanation or words. Now, I want you to share in the chat how you felt when you said the word no. Really, just write the emotion that popped up when you said no, and look at the answers your colleagues are sharing. Now, when it isn't your best yes, it's someone else's. I'm seeing words like it felt great. Oh gosh, it felt negative. Oh gosh, I felt less stress. Because when it isn't your best yes, it's someone else's. I want you to let that sink in, everyone. When you decline invitations that are not aligned with your values, you give someone else the opportunity to honor their values and use their talents. When it's a no for you, think about who you know that would love the opportunity. The person will be grateful for the chance to shine and to contribute their strengths. Let me share my most trusted response when declining an opportunity, like anything that's coming your way, whether it's volunteering at the school, at church, for a friend, helping pack backpacks, whatever it might be. I say, thank you so much for thinking of me and for asking. My volunteer hours are completely booked this month. However, my friend, fill in the blank with their name, would be perfect for this opportunity. Let me connect you with them. Now, when you're using this, because you practice peace, pause, examine, assess, choose, execute, you already took a moment and connected with that friend and know that they're in. Now, I hope that you're smiling like I am, thinking about the fun it will be to use this technique. If you feel like you're going to use it, let me know by dropping a yes in the chat. Okay, so quick review. We talked about the joy of missing out by using your core values as your guide, learning to practice peace before you reply, and joyfully, intentionally, and lovingly saying no. Last but not least is one more word in your life. If you're someone who chooses a guiding word for the year, this is a great use of it. If you did choose a word, I'd love for you to share it in the chat if you chose your guiding word, because this word is such a beautiful filter. For example, my word this year is serenity. If the invitation I received makes me feel stressed or pressured, it's likely a hard pass. Serenity is about being boundless, right? It's not about being bound more to obligations. It's helped me to bring better balance to my energies and create a more integrated experience between my work and my life choices. You get the idea. So hopefully today, one or two or three of these words have inspired you to give your best yeses, because it was my heart's desire to show you ways to decipher that decision for you. I know Tawny's going to share a slide with a QR code and a link to a page of resources that include some resources for you that we talked about today. One is a free core values guidebook. Please head on to there, grab your free core values download and define your core values today. If you scroll down, you're also going to see a signature life guide that will help you choose your word or support it a little differently. So those two resources will get you started. I'm so grateful for the invitation to be here with all of you. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, Deborah. And I did use that guidebook. My word is unleash, by the way.
Unleash. I love that word. That's a great one.
Thank you. And I got that. I was inspired through your book. So thank you for doing that for us this year. So Deborah, can you tell us about our next Woman Up 2023 event?
I sure can. Let me put on that hat for a second. So Woman Up, for those of you who don't know, is a California Association of Realtors initiative all around helping inspire more women to step up into brokerage ownership and executive leadership. We are seeing those waves, those ripples we started turn into big waves. I'm guessing many of you saw that they just announced that there is a brand new female CEO over at Coldwell Banker. Anywhere brands are really rocking it with the females in the CEO position. So we are getting together to celebrate on June 13th and 14th. We're going to be in Oceanside, California at the brand new Seabird Resort. It is beautiful. It's right on Oceanside. It's right out the windows, all of the windows. You see the Oceanside Pier, which is a fantastic walk, by the way. And we are putting together 2 days that are more like a retreat than ever before. We have lots of playtime scheduled where you can enjoy the beach, you can go on scavenger hunts or walk the local art scene. We are doing more collaborative sessions. We're doing more collaboration in the morning so that you can play in the afternoon. Of course, we have things like our welcome sip, where you'll be able to meet sponsors and speakers and wave makers. And we have morning yoga. We're going to have some great conversation starters on the stage, but we're not going to do the traditional panels this year. So it's going to be different. We're going to have conversations starting on stage and circling up so that we can talk about how to bring what we just heard that inspired us, maybe triggered us, concerned us, excited us, around a table with the 10 people at the table, so that you have a group of people who can take that information, help you weave it into your business plans so that you are taking that into the next day and the next day after that, and not leaving it in the room when you leave. Of course, we also have our famous now wine tasting with the Mondavi sisters. We have Alicia coming, and we have Angelina, who's their winemaker as well. And they are bringing some of their other wines that they've invested in that are also female-owned wineries. So we're going to have all kinds of goodies. That's at the end of the event. So we're going to start with sips, end with sips, do yoga and stretching and all sorts of things. And then one last thing for those of you who are like, another conference, we're bringing back, for those of you that are more on the shy side, you're sociable but not social, we're bringing the Introverts Lounge back, and it is a gorgeous space. So when it gets a little bit too much for you, you can head onto that space. It's nice and quiet, lots of great little conversation spots for you to either kick back by yourself or bring a friend so that you can have more intimate conversations. So there is one last thing that I want to share with you about the movement in general. If you haven't joined us on IamWomanUp.com, definitely go over there and share your story. The only way we choose people to be on stage is when they fill out this form. Well, I should say, besides our keynotes that are outside of real estate, right? The people like all of us here who are at this table today, we find you when you raise your hand and fill out that form. So head on over to IamWomanUp.com. If you scan that QR code, that'll take you right to the form, and share your leadership story with us so that we can get connected with you.
Thank you, Deborah, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. And now we have some Visa cards from Woman Up, and which you can use to what? Purchase your ticket for Woman Up event in June. Sorry, I was mixing June and the year together. So our first up is, who was the very first person to register for this event who's going to receive a $100 Visa card? It was our 2023 National President-elect, Miss Carrie Hartnett. So we will be emailing you your card, my lady. Next up, for a $50 Visa card that you can use for Woman Up event, is who was our first state president to register for this event. And that was J.C. Peters, 2023 state president of Illinois. So we will be emailing you your Visa card. And our next up for a $50 gift card from Women Up was, who was our first state president-elect to register for this event. And that was Kathy Hashmat, the Texas state president-elect. And now I would like to introduce Nicole Green. She is with Robert Hall and Associates. And for all you presidents and events and event directors and membership directors, Robert Hall and Associates are the tax experts that you want to speak at your networks. They have offices nationwide, and guess what? They specialize in complex real estate transactions, so they can help you help your clients. So without any further ado, I present Nicole Green from Robert Hall and Associates.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for the time here. I just wanted to come on quickly and say hello. I'm Nicole Green. Yes, Robert Hall and Associates has been around for well over 70 years. We are based in California, but we are all over nationwide. We specialize in real estate and different forms of taxing with real estate. This is for brokers, realtors, and clients that heavily or minimally invest in real estate. We kind of take it on all aspects because we as a company believe in it, and we also believe in it in our personal lives. And so we just wanted to come on quickly to say hi. And if anybody wanted to sign up for a free consultation, you guys are all more than welcome to, or just to get some more information, you can text us at 7200, and we will happily set you up with a free consultation.
Nicole, thank you. Can you put that in the chat again where they can text?
Yes, I absolutely will. You guys have a great day.
Thank you, Nicole. I'm telling you guys, they are great, and they're really good at, doing Zoom events for us and in person. they've been one of our major supporters since the beginning of our network. So I brag about Robert Hall all the time, and we have them on at least 4 times a year. No, yeah, on both our network and our local association. So I definitely, encourage you, presidents, event directors, and membership directors, to reach out to Nicole and Robert Hall. So now we have another giveaway from Robert Hall and Associates. Who was the first local network president to register for this event? It was Janet Romano, president of Long Island, New York. We will be emailing you your Amazon gift card. Next, the first local network president-elect to register for this event, it was, I just got a message to Christina Gonzalez from Low Country, South Carolina. So you guys kind of getting a hit, right? That we reward people who register first. Next, we have, I'm gonna put on my hat right now, my association hat. We have from Greater Los Angeles Realtor Association, and I'm the 2023 president-elect, by the way. And I'm gonna brag just a little bit about our association. We're the 3rd largest California association with 14,000 plus members. And our CEO, Marty Nash, has not only grew our association by 4,000 more members, but is an amazing supporter of Women's Council. When I was the 2021 president of the LA Beverly Hills Network, we were fairly new, only 2 years old, and it was COVID time. And to help get our membership up so we can keep our charter, Marty allowed us to pitch at every new member's orientation in which we had offered as an association benefit our network dues for $99, which the association would cover the $160 difference since our dues are $259. And for Women's History Month, he shot a video in which he offered free membership to our local network. So those are the 2 things that have allowed our network to win the state award for the most members in the first quarter of 2021. Also, Marty participated in all of our nationwide Zoom events, so much so that he tends to be the top bidder of all of our auctions. And the guy's kind of competitive, okay? It maybe might be the Marine in him, I guess. But to all you presidents, membership directors, and event directors, be sure to have a great relationship with your local associations. Our network is on our association website, and all of our events are marketed to the entire membership. And if an association member attends an event, they receive 50% off our network dues as association benefit. Our association pays the difference. If you want more information about the different ways to work with your local association, I will put my contact information in the chat. And with no further ado, our awesome CEO, Marty Nash.
Thank you so much, Tani. Good afternoon, ladies and guests. It's always a pleasure for me to participate in anything that the Women's Council is doing. For example, during Women's History Month, we celebrate the countless women who fought tirelessly, courageously for not just equality, but justice and just equal opportunity in the nation. And we also, reaffirm the commitment to advancing the rights and opportunities for women and girls, not only in the United States, but around the world. But for me, it's not a month celebration. It's an everyday experience. I was blessed to be raised by 2 amazing women, my mother and my grandmother. So I am a benefit firsthand of seeing what is possible when strong women are in charge. And so I would just like to say to you all, keep doing what you're doing, keep blazing trails, keep being the amazing leaders and individuals that you are. And happy Women's History Month. And so I'm always going to be around. Anytime, you need anything from me. Tani will always tell me, go through Tani first. So keep doing what you guys are doing.
Thank you, CEO Marty Nash. We truly, truly appreciate you. And guess what? From Galar, we have gift prizes. And one of them is which will be emailed to from Galar, we are giving this to the first state vice president who registered for this event. And that was Michael Martin, Ohio State First Vice President. And the next $50 Amazon gift card is going to the first state treasurer to register. And that was Diana. I'm not going to pronounce your last name. I will butcher it. But Diana from the Idaho State Treasurer. And Now, I have the privilege and pleasure of introducing our 2023 NER's President-elect, Tracy Casper. Did you know she was a violin? She played the violin. I played it with her too. Well, not with her, but I used to play the violin too. And you know, when you always a violin, you always have the passion to play the violin, even if you haven't did it in years. Tracy is the broker owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and in Boise Valley, Idaho. Plus, she's a majority owner in 2 other Idaho real estate companies. She's my kind of entrepreneur. Can we say multiple streams of income? That's Tracy. Tracy has over 30 years of experience in real estate, and despite all of her volunteering duties, she still lists and sells both residential and commercial real estate, in addition to her broker owner duties, her wife duties, her mother duties. She has 7 kids, people, 7 kids, and she's still doing all this, plus NER duties. Tracy Casper, thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to join us today.
Oh my goodness. First of all, thank you for having me. And I just have to say this because Tani, it's so interesting to watch you. I don't know how many of you know, but she has a really big role at NAR this year and next year. She is the co-chair of the brand new From Our Governance PAG, Communities of Interest. No small task. She is tasked with her co-chair to engage 1.5 million of our members and find out what makes them tick and what they're excited about talking about. And so she has taken this on with fervor. And you can tell we picked the right lady. There is just no doubt in my mind whatsoever. You are tireless, my friend. And thank you for putting this together. Your energy, your spirit, it transcends Zoom screens. And I am telling you, that is a talent like no other. So thank you for all that you do. And thank you for having me here. I'm looking around the room. I know so many of you. I am inspired by all of you. What you do every single day is really so special, because if we can feel you and your energy here, we know what you're doing at home. I'm going to start by sharing my story just briefly. You know, my story is not unique, you guys. It's very, very common. I found myself to be a single mom. I had 3 kids at the time, and I knew I needed to do something different. I knew I had to take a leap of faith. I had been in real estate and had worked for others for about 5 years, and I knew it was time for me to get my license. So do you all remember that day when you got your license and you're sitting there? And I remember it clearly. I'm in my car and I'm holding onto my steering wheel. I had just passed my test. And I'm holding it, and I know the thought, I will never forget it. Tears in my eyes. I knew my life had changed. I knew my life had changed. I knew what was ahead of me in the idea that I could now, for the first time ever, volunteer in my kids' school. Working 8 to 5, that was never an opportunity that I had. I knew that I could volunteer and help them raise money for the different things that I watched the other parents get to do. I knew, because I had been in real estate before, and watching those boards and at the general membership luncheons and thinking, I want to do that. So the very first thing I did was I signed up and I ran for treasurer of my local association. Tom Turner is on the call. He and I actually were in the same local association, a little small association at the time, about 300 members. And I ran, and the gentleman that I ran against, he didn't show up. So they elected me. I don't know that they knew me, but I was there. So they elected me. And you know what happened? Magic happened. I was raised in realtor leadership, and there is nothing more special than realtor leadership. Think about this for a moment, because I've served in my chambers, and chambers, all these other different companies that come together to help build a town. We're realtors, which means that inherently we're competitors, and we compete against each other in other companies and even in our own company. I mean, inherently we're competitors, but we have this very, very amazing spirit where we come together for a common cause. And when you're in realtor leadership and you're working to help your clients and you're working to help your community, and we are the doers. I say this a lot. We're the ones that roll up our sleeves and give our time more than most. So the idea that we are the ones that really can affect change, it's very, very special. So I'm a treasurer, and I'm going to tell you right now, when you have this volunteerism in you and this spirit in you, and you allow those doors to open, doors will open that you would have never imagined, ever. So as I'm getting to know my peers and colleagues from my own office and the offices in town, I'm learning about real estate. We're having little conversations on the side, and they're training me up and they're teaching me. I would have never learned that had I just stayed in my own little corner and not really met all of those people. So when we talk about success by volunteering, here's the first one that I will tell you that I found out. When they know you and you write an offer for them, for your client, and they know you and they may not know the others, do you know where your offer goes? It's human nature. They don't do it on purpose, but there's a familiarity, there's a trust, and your offer goes to the top. Now, conversely, if you're naughty, I know where your offers go, down to the bottom. So just be prepared. But when you are working with people and they see that you're there for the right reason, you are giving back, you are contributing your talents, your knowledge, your expertise. And by the way, we all have them. We may not have discovered them yet, but we all have them. The idea is that we are, again, building a community. But if I can get my clients that little leg up so that that partner of mine that I'm presenting this offer to knows that I'm going to be a good partner and I'm going to help get us to the finish line, there's magic in that. And it's not magic that benefits us. It's magic that benefits those people that we are representing. Pretty cool. Other doors opened up that I never would have imagined. I was appointed to our local planning and zoning committee because people are watching you as you're contributing your time and your talents. I ended up in my chamber in a little neighboring town that I grew up in Caldwell, Idaho. And as I'm working through the chamber, by the way, I was very surprised that one of the things I learned about realtor leadership that I hadn't known before is that when you kind of get outside of that and you're working with all of these different competing or not non-competing businesses, but they're all in the same town, we're trying to get the town built up, many people will walk in with their own agendas. And when you're not there for the common good, separate individual agendas can be a real tough bridge to build. So now I'm learning some other skills and now I'm learning some other things, but here's what else I'm doing. I'm meeting other people. When you meet other people in your volunteer world, you grow. You grow about yourself. You grow about how you're a better wife, a better mother. You grow about being a better entrepreneur, a better business owner. And we're all business owners. If we're not brokers and owners, we are all CEOs of our own companies. So the idea that you learn all of these really great traits and all of these things that you're seeing from these other people, those examples are so powerful. So more doors open and more doors open. I found myself in line for our state leadership. I grew again. I'm tapped to come into Leadership Academy at the National Association of Realtors. I walk in, I'm bright-eyed, I'm bushy-tailed, I'm so excited. I think NAR is this massive thing that I'm about to find out all of the little intricacies of, and I did, and more doors open. So now all of you know, I am the incoming president next year for the National Association of Realtors. When I, back in 1997, sitting in my little crummy car, holding that steering wheel, knew that my life had changed, do you think at that moment that there was any idea that I would be doing what I'm about to do? I see Kathy Watley is on this call, and I know this woman she has been such an amazing mentor to me. I can never thank this woman for the example that she has set. She doesn't even know it, so I'm telling her here. This is where you find those extraordinary people. And it's interesting as you go through your path, the one thing that I have learned as well, knowledge is power. And people have power. And I admonish every single one of you, find the power, that superpower in you, find your why, dive in head first, and realize this. I had a great quote from one of my partners in one of my companies, and she said that you need to volunteer, you need to get out there, you need to give back. Because when you are a busy, busy person, that's when you become more organized, you're more thoughtful in how you spend your time, you prioritize, and you actually will accomplish more than had you not volunteered in the first place. So just know this, there's magic in that. The magic is you. So again, find your superpower and go out there and change the world. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Madam President-elect. That was awesome. Superpower. We need to find our superpower. Thank you for that. Next up, it's time for trivia time. And we have Carolyn Altman, who is running for our 2024 National Treasurer. What is our first question, Ms. Carolyn?
It is, how many of our NAR female presidents also serve as state women's council presidents?
Let's see, can we get that?
Who knows the answer?
Can we get that question on the screen, Craig? There we go.
So how many of our NAR female presidents were also served as a state women's council president? Just so you know, we don't have any national women's council presidents that have currently served as NAR. We'll have to change that.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm looking for the answer too. Hold on. So let's see if we have it. Or I may have to go for the closest one. Okay, man. Barbara, you winning again? This woman won the first trivia question we had last time.
Right.
You know?
So the answer is 3.
Yes,
we have Elizabeth Mendenhall, Pat Combs, and Catherine Waitley.
Wait, just want to make sure. Not that I doubt you, Barbara, but I think just want to make sure you are number 1. Let me make sure. Okay, we had.
Rochelle answered first.
Yeah, they're going down right now, slowly.
She's correct. She's correct.
Yep, hold on. I'm going right.
I didn't want to answer, but she's correct.
Yep, is Rachel, Portland, Oregon. Hold on. Before we go to this, make sure I got the one. Rachel, do me a favor. Rochelle, thank you. I apologize. Rochelle, please put your direct message me, your email, please. Okay. That would be awesome. Okay, the next one, Miss Carolyn, can you?
Okay, how many female NAR presidents have we had?
Let's see. I think we have, I'm going down really slowly. Okay, we have our first one. It was from Madonna Carey. And that answer is?
7.
That's right.
And congratulations and thanks to all of you for being here. I'm participating in 4 different women's council events today, so you can see I kind of dressed up for the occasion today.
And just to let you know, here are the 7, which Tracy's going to be number 8, right? And thank you, Tracy, for not saying that you're going to be number 8 and give away the answer. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Here are the 7. I mean, the first one was 1992. And by the way, she was the youngest one at that time, 45 years old. She was the youngest president at the time. And we have Sharon in 1999. We had Catherine in 2003. We had Pat in 2007, Vicky in 2010, Elizabeth 2018, and Leslie 2022, and 2024, Tracy Casper.
We get to change the answer to that question next year. I'm excited about that.
Yes, that's right. Number, we'll have 8. We're getting there, ladies.
Thanks again.
We're getting there.
Yeah. Thanks again, Tani.
Thank you, Miss Carolyn. And now we're going to hear from our 2023 California State President, Madam President Sabrina Brown, on why Women's Council.
Good morning. It was afternoon, so I guess I didn't have enough coffee yet. Tani, thanks for having me here. I really appreciate it. And I love how you do these events. It's very special. And I appreciate you for doing it and putting it together. Why Women's Council? Because it's real brief and it should be real simple. Tracy Casper. I see Jeannie Rasnick on the line too. It's about leadership. It's about advocacy. It's about promoting women in leadership in the real estate industry. It's about networking, which we're all doing here, Tani, and doing it well and doing it so well. In professional development, and not only professional, but also in your business. I mean, in personal development as well. Women's Council affords you the opportunity to do things that you never thought you could do and never seen yourself doing. And so I'm sure Tracy, like she said, never seen herself as being the next NAR president. And guess what? She's going to do that. And she's a Women's Council member. And the opportunities that Women's Council provides you gives you the opportunity to go anywhere you choose to go. It is a valuable resource for women in real estate who want to connect with others and advance their careers. So I encourage you all that are not Women's Council members to join today. We will be having our California meeting coming up at the end of next month. And we hope to see you all there. I will put the information in the chat. And Tani, I thank you for letting me be here. And I hope to see more members joining today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tani.
Thank you, Madam President. We love you.
Thanks, Sabrina.
And guess what? It's trivia time. And we have Miss Lynn Van Meter, who's running for our 2024 National Liaison. And our first question is, Miss Lynn.
In what year was Women's Council organized?
Okay, hold on. I think we am looking for the first question. And Barbara, you and Renee, by the way, are disqualified. Just letting you guys two know, you always win. So just up hand, Barbara.
Can I use her
Renee.
answer?
And Renee. So no, the first person after Barbara again was Claudia. So Claudia, you are the winner of Claudia. Let me get you. Claudia from who's the state president. Claudia, what state president are you?
I'm the president-elect for Virginia.
There you go. Sorry, I need more coffee because I usually have that on top of my head.
Yay.
So hold on, let me just make sure I get you in here. Okay, gotcha. Okay, Miss Lynn, our next question.
What city were we formed in?
No Barbara, no Renee. Okay, hold on. I think I saw the answer. Let me scroll up. I saw it. Hold on. And that was Sandy Jotry. Sandy Jotry, do me a favor. You and Claudia, please direct message.
You are like the first
Email
person to
address.
ever pronounce that correctly. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
I really do. I usually butcher names despite the point my last name is English. So please, ladies, definitely direct message me your email so I can email you your gift cards. Thank you very much. And thank you, Lynn, for being our trivia quiz master.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, next we have WO3 Connect. And what this organization is about is that, well, first off, they're having an event on March 25th, 2023, which is WO3 Day. And what is WO3 Day? It's the one day each year where women from all backgrounds join together to support any woman-owned, female-led business. The mission of WO3 is to partner, promote, and support women-led and owned businesses. To find out more about them, visit their website at wo3connect.com, which I'll put in the chat. And thank you. And that particular organization is supported by Mr. Feminist himself, Raymond of Greenbacks Loans. And we have another giveaway. Who was the first state liaison to register for this event? Antigone, 2023 Idaho State Liaison. And our next winner was, who was the first state district vice president to register for this event? And that is from California, Beth Flohr. Congratulations, ladies. Now, it is time to hear from our panel of remarkable leaders who were able to use the skills they had learned from all the years of volunteering at Women's Council at their local state association, as well as the National Association of Realtors and organization. And they were able to turn those skills into securing either appointed or elected government positions, more business, more community partnerships, and other leadership positions. Susan Nicholson did just that. Susan was one of our 2020 Local Women's Council Network presidents. She's the past president of the Arizona West Valley Network, and now is the newly appointed Arizona Real Estate Commissioner. Susan has over 25 years of real estate experience. She has previously owned a real estate brokerage, because I tried to find it. I saw that they made you take down your website when you became commissioner. I tried to stalk her, couldn't do it. And she also owned a real estate school and was qualified to teach in all categories of real estate education. Wow. She also held director positions at both the Arizona Realtor Association and at NER. Now, here's a little fun fact about Susan. She's a bag lady. She is one of those people who puts bags within bags. For example, in her purse, you will usually find a bag for makeup, a bag for office supplies, a bag for miscellaneous things like hand sanitizer and screens, wipes. She's like a walking MacGyver, okay? With the things she keeps in her bags. How many of you guys can relate to that? Raise your hand. Right? So with no further ado, let's hear from our Madam Arizona Real Estate Commissioner, Susan.
Thank you, Tawny, so much for inviting me to this fun event. I see so many faces there that I truly love. I miss you ladies. But now here I sit in my office as commissioner of the Arizona Department of Real Estate. And I tell you what, I've been on the road quite a bit at a lot of different association events. Yesterday, I was in the Gila Valley meeting with about 50 agents that sit in this island of Arizona where there's no local association of realtors. They could certainly use a women's council there. But they are members of NAR and they're members of Arizona Realtors. And I was able to go out with Arizona Realtors president and we did some outreach yesterday in a little pocket of Arizona that hadn't been touched by organized real estate in 11 years. So it was really a great honor. But the funniest thing and the most frequent thing that I have heard in the last month, because it's been 1 month and 2 days, is how did you become commissioner? And sometimes that question is asked, how did you become commissioner? It's kind of funny, right? Like what you decide to enunciate in your question may or may not be a little bit leading. So it's always a laugh. But I will take that every time over the interaction I had with a licensee that said, when I saw your resume and saw you speaking on the stage, I thought, no way, she's not old enough to have accomplished all of those things. And then she was up close and we were shaking hands and she goes, oh, but I can see you're old enough now. Like, I think I preferred how you saw me from the stage. So I don't know if that happens to you, Tracy, but there are definitely things where I just smile and think I feel really badly for that person because about 6 o'clock tonight when they're relaxing, they're going to go, oh, so it's been kind of fun. So I started in 2017 in the living room of Monica Hewitt in Glendale, Arizona, as a brand new member of the Women's Council of Realtors. Prior to joining, when I joined the Women's Council of Realtors, I was actually at a point where I wasn't sure that real estate was where I wanted to stay and what I wanted to do anymore. I was an independent agent at a large brokerage and I was successful. I was making really a handsome, good living. But I missed the camaraderie that I had with the office and the organization that I had come out of. And I literally stumbled into a women's council meeting because continuing education was being offered and I needed that category. And I met Monica Hewitt and Paige Gibbons, and they offered me this little sparkle of, I wonder if this is what's missing in my real estate career, my real estate life. So I signed up for membership and put my credit card number down, and we had our new member orientation in Monica's living room, and I walked out the program director. How did that happen? We were a small little tiny network. Many hands make for light work, and none of us newbie little members walked out of that meeting without a job and a task. And then the president of the network, Paige Gibbons, said, and we were a chapter back in those days, but said, you have to go join a committee at the local association. It's imperative that every one of our members also serve on the association side. And that was the beginning of my leadership journey. So I decided to join the Government Affairs Committee at my local association. And that's where I first met Jan Layton, who is a past Arizona Realtors president and a Women's Council member. And I just sat there in awe listening to her in this committee meeting with so much knowledge. She was a federal political coordinator and bringing back updates on what was happening from Congress and these big, scary, hairy lawsuits at NAR and all this stuff that I was completely unaware of as just, an agent running around on the streets like a little stray dog. And I had no idea what I had no idea about. So I ran for a position position on my local board, and I made it onto the board of directors. And then I decided to go even further and deeper into leadership, and I became a line officer. And when I received my appointment to become commissioner, I had actually gone up through to be accepted as a member of the National Association of Realtors Leadership Academy. I am convinced Women's Council helped me get there because I was a graduate of the Women's Council of Realtors Leadership Institute. And one of the questions is, what other leadership training do you have? So if you're going to reach to the top of this organization's tools and resources for how to become the best leader that you can be, there are many steps to the stairway that you can take to show that you have that eagerness and initiative and learn the skills along the way. So I am so grateful to the Women's Council of Realtors and to Realtor Family, to the National Association of Realtors, to the state association, to my local association, because I could not be an effective and impactful commissioner without the background and the knowledge that I come to this office with. So I'll give you guys an example. My staff here was trying to prepare me for what had been the dreaded Educational Advisory Committee meeting, where the stakeholders from the industry come in and tell the department how much they don't know about what needs to be done. And let's just say not all of the comments are in the best interest of the best possible way to protect the public and the best possible interest of the licensees. There may have been some safeguarding of business models happening inside the room. And I walk in and I know Robert's rules. Do you know why I know Robert's rules? Yes, that would be the Women's Council of Realtors. And oh, I happen to be the chair of this committee. Hey, I know what to do. I've done mock this to show you exactly what not to do at Network 360. Like, I know what we need to get done in this room today. And it was a moment where I honestly think I earned the respect of the most senior staff members here at the department because they realized that their new commissioner, who was just dumped in on them, really. I'm a political appointee, so the governor appointed me to run the Department of Real Estate in the state. And they really didn't know what they were going to get. You know, does she have any computer skills? Is she nice? Is she horrible? Is she firing all of us and bringing in her own people? What is about to happen in their world? And early on, we have this committee meeting. And I come in and I call the committee to order and we start proceeding through. And one of the things that I changed in Arizona was to allow continuing education to happen in as small as 1 credit increments. So 50 minutes, and you can get a credit towards your license renewal. And I did it because I know there are organizations like the Women's Council of Realtors, there are organizations like associations, there are brokers out there who hold incredible meetings about the contract or issues, deed fraud, things that are happening in real time. And I also knew this about my realtor friends and my licensee friends. If you can sweeten the pot a little with some food and a credit hour, they're more likely to show up in person, right? Like, that's who we are. We like it. Give me a drink ticket at the end. We're even better. So I understood this about the industry and I thought, how can I create this win-win situation? We're going to permit 1 credit hour increments of continuing education. The statute certainly didn't forbid me to do it. So here I am in this committee meeting, and let's just say there's some fellas in there that are used to getting their way and used to being in charge. And they did protest. They did not like the change because it didn't agree with their business model, not because it wasn't a way to deliver the best content of education, quality versus quantity, or that it would give licensees the ability to take 2 hours out of their day and start working on renewing their license. But, you know, instead of half of a day, we used to only do 3 credit hour increments here in Arizona. It was really just protection of their business model. And so as the discussion came in, I pulled one of the tools out of my toolbox that I learned in Women's Council. And I think I learned this from Cindy Reddy, so I'm going to give her credit. And I said, the repeat back. Let me be sure that I understand what you're saying. Right? Right? I see you nodding your heads. You are telling me that a licensee with a license to sell real estate, and that license happens to have my name on it now, is not capable of adding single digits to the sum of 24 in order to maintain their professional license. And yet they are indeed responsible with a fiduciary duty of accounting for time periods and dollars on contracts that are worth hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. But you're telling me the industry is going to collapse around adding single digits to 24 in order to maintain their license. Do I understand you correctly, sir? And yeah, that was what I heard. That was the pushback. And so then it was a double down. Well, yes, and there's going to be phone calls, and us school owners are going to get the phone calls. And I said, well, please send those phone calls to me. I would love to talk to the licensee that can't add to 24 to protect their professional license. Perhaps I should be looking deeper on that license. You know, I said, and you can tell them that the commissioner said that. And I said, all right, I do not accept that as a reasonable reason to withhold quality education over quantity in the state of Arizona. And we are moving forward with this. This has moved forward. The statutes do not require that I get permission. I am already granted that authority by statute. And I laid down the law.
All right.
I would not have had the courage 10 years ago, 5 years ago, without the training that I had received at Women's Council of Realtors, at the boardroom at my local association, standing up for the things that are important to me in this industry and building the relationships that are necessary. When we walked out of the room, the deputy commissioner shared with me that was the best committee meeting he had ever been to. And the vice president of education for the state association said to me, that was the best committee meeting I have ever been to. It is the first time that that committee meeting stayed on the agenda and was 100% about education and moved forward and was not just a whining session where certain business owners had managed to get a seat at the table and could come and try to bully their way to bettering their profit line. And it was a moment when I reflected that I knew it's because of the Women's Council of Realtors and NAR and Arizona Realtors and my local association and the investment of time and energy into improving every single day in your leadership skills. So there's some other things I learned from the Women's Council that have started happening here at the Department of Real Estate. You guys cannot even imagine the shock that I had when I went in and spoke with the chief of staff and I said, what do we do for our staff members when they have a work anniversary or a birthday? Because at the Women's Council, right, like we give you a shout out and hey, and you joined our network, right? We do a lot to say, hey, we love you. We know you're doing things for us and we appreciate you. And the answer was, well, we don't really do anything. The state doesn't allow tax dollars to be spent that way. So all of you Arizona residents on here, you can rest assured, your tax dollars are not being spent for me to have any of this fun. And that in previous years, if the commissioner had gone out to an event and got some Post-it notes with somebody's brand on it or a water bottle or something, it went into a cabinet. And if it was your birthday, they'd open the cabinet and you could pick something. And I was like, ew, that is horrible. The other thing that I learned at the department is that the Department of Real Estate typically had been an agency at the state that returned a large sum of money back to the state general fund every year, which is great if it's business efficiencies, but it is not great if you are not investing in your people and investing in the technology that your agency requires to do a good job for the state of Arizona. And unfortunately, it was the latter. There were surface level kudos for returning this amount of money, and yet there was overall systemic neglect at the Department of Real Estate. We only have 6 people that can answer the phones. Why is that? I've got 22 people.
So Susan, just want to say this though. So we're saying, that Arizona Department of wait, someone needs to be muted here. Am I missing? Okay. So we're saying that Arizona Department of Real Estate is blessed because they have you, a women's council, past leader. Is that what we're saying here?
We're saying I would not be nearly as good of a commissioner, nor would I have survived the interview process or probably my upcoming Senate confirmation had I not had the training that I got from the Women's Council of Realtors.
So ladies, all you presidents and membership directors, event directors, and etc., government board, we are recording this, okay? And we're gonna send it out to all of those who registered. We had over 300 people who registered for this. So please take the recording and use this at your meetings. This is a very good, recording of, and this is a really good motivation to empower your members to want to volunteer. That volunteer does pay dividends, as we just heard from Ms. Susan Nicholson. Thank you very much.
I'm going to conclude it with this, Tani. Ladies, have the moment of courage to be brave, to do things that your inner voice tells you you're not qualified or capable of doing, because you're getting the training, you're climbing the stairs. If you're higher up on that staircase, turn on your flashlight and put a spotlight on the next stair for the next leader. It does not take away any of your brightness when you light somebody else's candle.
I like that. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, this woman, I met her when she came to our Greater LA Association to campaign for president of our California State Association. When she walked in, I said, wow, this woman looks and acts like a president. And guess what? She was the right state president to have in 2020 during COVID. It was a very tough time for all of us as realtors, and it was our first exposure to Zoom, pretty much, and having Zoom meetings. And she handled it wonderfully. And she knew when to mute people during a board meeting, okay? Because a lot of people need to be muted, okay? Especially for that first board meeting via Zoom. Jeannie is the 7-Eleven realtor. She has 7 children and 11 grands, soon to be 12 grandchildren. And she'd like to say that she's been around, she's still here, she's not going away anytime soon. Thank you, Jeannie. We don't want you to go anywhere. She has 30+ real estate. She's a 30+ real estate veteran with Century 21 Jordan Lincoln Company in Bakersfield, California. And she has served at the local level, state, and national level of organized real estate. When she was our 2020 California State President, she had received 59 transactions from one client, okay? So I'm gonna turn it over to Madam Jeannie for she can share her story with us.
Thank you, Tani. This is it. I am just so humbled to be included in this wonderful group of people that you've had speaking today. Tracy Casper knocked it out of the park along with Susan Nicholson. I mean, that was just fabulous. So Tani asked me to talk about, as you volunteer, it doesn't impede your income level typically, not unless you go overboard and start working with so many committees that you can't return phone calls to your clients. Anyone who knows me knows that that is like my mantra. I answer my phone. If I can't answer directly, I return my calls. You'll never have me out in limbo, not responding to you. And I'll tell you, if there was anything that I learned about being the president during the first COVID year, our first lockdown, I was so empowered, and I'll tell you why. because I got to be me. I didn't have to mirror the guy in front of me. No, I'm not saying anything negative about them, but this was my voice. This was my time, and it hadn't been done before. So don't tell me how to do it. I'm here. I'm doing it now. You know, I'm a little bossy too, besides that. So what she was talking about, or asked me to talk about, was the way that I ended up with 59 deals from one client. And I'll go back just a tad to tell you where this came from. Few years back, we had a challenge within our local association that 5 brokers got together and decided to form an independent MLS. And it was pretty unpleasant overall, but we had to hire a new board attorney because the first one had too many working relationships with the guys that had broken away. And so it isn't that I was in charge of anything. It was that I was at every single meeting. I didn't conduct the meetings, but I was a participant. And so after all this was finally resolved, it took us over 18 months to get that resolved. But in the meantime, when the gentleman who was the board attorney needed to buy a home for his parents, his mom and stepfather, who were getting on in years and needed to convert to handicap in the house, I had met his wife as well. And he said, well, how about if we ask Jeannie? I'm telling you, it's been an incredible relationship, mostly because he trusts me. But he also referred me to, one son has bought 2 homes from me. His daughter has bought a home. And so he was appointed conservator of this estate. Lady passed away and she had all these properties, mostly in little towns north of where I am. They were all tenant occupied. Most of them were Spanish speakers. I don't speak Spanish, so I got someone in my office that would work with me. We were such a great tag team that we got through this, but it was about a 2.5-year process. And in the meantime, I mean, what we learned was just incredible. There was a feel-good attorney that came to town. This was in the city of Delano. And she reached out to the tenants who were given first right to purchase these homes and told them that they were getting ripped off and that they should be able to buy these homes for $50,000. And she would show them how. Well, of course, she was blowing smoke. And you know, whatever. I don't know what was motivating her or where she came from, but it took us a few months to get her out of the process and get back on track with selling them. Most of the homes ended up being purchased by the tenants, some of whom had no documentation, some of whom did not have W-2 income. It was an incredible learning opportunity. But did I feel good about it? Yeah. I mean, out of all these homes, probably half of them had to have new roofs because they were all built in the late 50s, early 60s. We had to replace the fiberglass tub shower combinations because there was mold behind some of them. Oh, that was the M word. We don't talk about M words. You know, there were so many things that needed to be dealt with in these homes, and these people had been living with them that way. So when they purchased these homes and the average price was $200,000, when they were buying these homes, they got an upgraded home over what they had been occupying. And it was just a wonderful opportunity to work with people that were grateful, that understood that you had worked for them. So what keeps me going? I do like what I do. I do list, I do sell. My most recent referral though came, I wasn't on this Facebook group. I've kind of dropped off the Facebook range a lot, but all of a sudden I get a call from a lady in Illinois and she said, well, I put this in on Facebook and 5 people told me if I was going to be looking in Bakersfield that I had to talk to you. So I got this referral from this agent and it will probably be on the market within the month. But it was because when you work with people And I don't mean necessarily locally. When I met Tani, my goal was not to get a referral from Tani. My goal was to meet Tani and learn about Tani, right? And so as you work within this, and WCR is a fabulous networking group, but as you work through this, that's what people see. They see you as someone who would do anything to help them. And frankly, any of you who know me know that that's exactly what it is. How can I help you? What can I offer? How much do I have to contribute to you? And that's what keeps me moving. This morning, I am co-chairing a leadership academy for my local association. You know, we had one for a couple of years, then COVID took us down. So we're reinventing it. And it's a wonderful opportunity for my association to value the fact that they would like to have me participate. That makes me smile all over, you know, because I feel like I have something to contribute. So again, thank you for allowing me to participate. Happy to be here. Happy to see everybody back in living color. And I still have the Zoom. Oh my gosh. For any of you who are not in California directors, we had a marathon 7-hour board of directors meeting.
Yes, we did.
And it was supposed to be, and we knew to expect 4 hours. We had about 25 minutes left of things to cover. Well, when you're on Zoom, everybody's empowered. They all want to talk. They didn't have to go stand in front of a microphone, so it was free to them to talk. And oh my gosh, it went on forever. But we got through it, and that's what people remember the most.
Yes.
Thank you, Tani.
Thank you, Madam Past President. Thank you for sharing your time with us. And believe me, that first board meeting, I was in my car, my battery died because of that long board meeting. But you handled it well. She was definitely the right president at the time. Thank you so much. Well, now it's trivia time. And we have our past president of California Women's Council, Kay Merg, who's running for 2024 National Liaison. And she's going to be our quiz master today. Miss Kay, our first question is?
Hi, Tani. Hi, everyone. So our first question is, who are the 5 ladies serving on our 2023 National Women's Council leadership team?
You can put
all 5 of them with their first and last names, please.
Oops, sorry, I was gonna be nicer. Dang, Kay, you hardcore. I was just gonna say first names, man, but okay. We need 5 for 5 national leaders.
Who are the 5 national leaders? You guys know this.
A women's council.
All right. So tell me when you're ready.
I'm looking through the chat.
Looking forward to seeing everyone in Washington, D.C.
Hold on. Wait, am I missing something here? Why don't I see people typing in there, ladies?
They're still typing.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
there we go. Look.
Here we go. We have Diana. All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Missing one more. You do have the line officers, Diana. But we have someone else that's part of leadership besides the line officers. One more person, Diana.
Did you say California or?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I'm
sorry.
No, this is a nationwide thing. It's not all about
I
California.
know. I think it would get California's leadership team.
Well, no, I thought she said the 5 people serving at from California on the national leadership team.
Oh,
my bad.
California on the brain, huh? California state president, huh?
Of course.
Okay. So hold on.
I think we got a winner.
Who's our winner, Miss Kay?
So, well, I have to see who, so I can't see the chat right now
okay.
that who is first, second, or third. So you'll have to help me out.
Okay, I'm doing it now. So
I
Diana,
think I got them all.
oh, Adriana. Okay, wait, Adriana. Nope, you didn't. Almost though.
All right.
So I'm
So
going
I'm
down.
going to read them off for you.
Wait, I think we got, it's Carrie Little. Let's see, because she got Jamie. You guys were missing Jamie,
Yes.
CEO.
Good job.
So it was Carrie Little. Carrie Little,
I had Jamie on mine.
did you have Jamie?
All right. So you have Chris Picola Lee, our 2023 president, Carrie Hartnett, our president-elect, Tammy Knoll, our first vice president, our very own Cheryl Keller, our 2023 treasurer, and of course, Jamie Saltman. So good job, you guys.
Great
All right,
job.
we have one more question for everyone. This is going to be easy. Who are our 2023 national liaisons? And I'm going to give you a little hint. There are 3. Please type in their names.
She wants their full names. She's been hardcore. So that's why Adriana, my California, you didn't get it.
All right, national liaisons. We have 3 national 2023 liaisons.
It looks like we got it. Latonia Jones.
All right. So Sabrina got it too. Good job, Sabrina.
Well, yeah.
All right. Our 2023 national liaisons are Rosanna Garcia from California. She's the Central Region National Liaison. Regina Scott, our Western Region National Liaison. And of course, Kim Sitton, our Eastern National Liaison. So great job, you guys. I'm very impressed. We have a lot of smart people on this call, Tani. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Looking forward to seeing everyone soon.
Thank you, Madam Past President of California. And I love Kim because Kim gave me my first referral. So I love me some Kim, not just because she gave me my first referral, by the way, but that helps. Okay, so our next speaker, guess what she did during COVID? You know, she decided to finish her undergrad degree in interdisciplinary studies with a minor in marketing. So she's one of those women who know how to turn lemons into lemonade. Okay, that's what she decided to do during COVID. Congratulations again, madam, for doing that. And she is currently the president of the Chicago Association of Realtors, who she's the second Black woman president in its 139 plus years history with over 17,000 members. Sarah, my association, we're like at 14,000. So we're going to, catch up to you one of these days, right, Marty, if he's still on the call?
We pushing for 20,000, so.
Oh, come on now, it gives us a chance to, catch up. We trying, we getting there. But anyway.
We're definitely on the way.
Thank you, Marty. So, I'm always asking him, how are we at right now? Are we number 2 yet? Are we number 2 yet? But yeah, Sarah, we almost there. Sarah is the owner of Rare Realty Group, which is based in Hyde Park, Illinois. 80% of her business are from commercial transactions that she receives as a subcontractor for city and state projects. She works with developers, construction companies, architectural firms. And before becoming, by the way, she, in the past 3 years or so, received over $30 million in contracts, okay? So woo-hoo, my kind of woman. But before becoming the 2023 president of the Chicago Association, Sarah has served as the 2020 Illinois State Governor of Women's Council. So I present to you, Madam President Sarah Rare.
So Tani, you made me go after these other ladies. And so I'm like, great, now I have to go. So I know how Women's Council does it with the agenda. I have my time, my 5-minute time clock. So I want to respect everyone's time. So good afternoon. I am, like Tani said, Sarah Ware from Chicago. So my journey is, short and sweet. So after I did not go the traditional route, as Tani said, from after high school going to college. And so I ended up working right away because my culture, household, you work or go to school, one of the two, you're not staying in the house. And so I don't know, some people I'm sure can relate to that. And that wasn't a bad thing. I think we actually probably need to reinstitute that back in today's market. But started in the admin world for CEO at the CEO level, just kind of taking care of that space in the executive executive admin level. Got my license in 1997. So I was working in commercial real estate in that department. Thought I wanted to pursue a route for that. And as we all know, commercial real estate is very male dominated. They were like, great, you got your license. That's good. And clap, clap. So that didn't go anywhere. So I decided, I ended up getting my associate's degree because back in the day, companies used to pay for you to go to school. I was always a good student. And so I ended up I just mentally created a real estate curriculum, my own college curriculum in my head. And you know how you meet some women council, you go to a women's council event, it's over. So I was like, oh, what is this? Women getting together? They had very good educational programs. And so I would go time to time here in Chicago. So what happened was they were like, hey, you want to serve on a committee? I actually visited a board meeting first with Rebecca Thompson. She invited me. Then from that, it grew. I ended up getting on the board I wanted to be the secretary. And it was like, no, you'll get lost in that. Was program director, ascended to president, and all that while. And I know they call it imposter syndrome now. I don't know what the name was before. And so, coming from a place where you're around all these amazing women, and then I come from, where I didn't graduate. Most people had graduated from college. And so I was kind of doing that self-doubt talk. So Women's Council was a way for me to excel my skills when it comes to speaking, networking. And so I was getting behind the scenes training in exchange for volunteering, and it actually proved fruitful. So I had always worked for a firm that was minority Asian certified. And so I saw how he built his business. The city of Chicago reached out and said, hey, do you want to do this for real estate? We don't have that many real estate firms that are certified. And so I have been certified. I had a business partner the first go round. We dissolved that partnership. I can give a whole seminar on dissolution. I mean, in my head, it went one way, and then we were sitting with an attorney in mediation with a check I had to write. So those two things, and I think some of those Women's Council real estate volunteer things helped me run meetings and be able to act in meetings in a way that was not so emotional, but very tactical and professional. So I knew I was always looking at I don't want to say retirement, but I was a traditional real estate agent selling homes, and that was fine. But I end up, I do like my weekends and evenings. And so working for the government, they never work evenings, weekends, and it was a niche that they needed. And so for us as real estate professionals, you have no idea how much the commercial market needs us. They want our MLS. My biggest clients are CBRE and JLL because they are always looking for our data. So I get paid on an hourly basis for most of my clients. And now I'm to a point that I can't really do any residential. You always have those family friends, stragglers. So I've developed a good referral network. And I will say this, I do own my own firm, but the resources that I use is not just for your own firm, like the Women's Business Development Center, any small business development center. I would encourage people to go to and kind of help hone their business strategy, because I use those tools all the time. I'm actually now a coach at the University of Chicago, and they sent me a week at Kellogg. So I'm looking at me like I didn't even graduate from college, and I'm at the top colleges kind of getting coached. And I do credit that from Women's Council, just being thrown into situations where I'm able to hone my skills, get more confidence. And I mean, and we all know it's a work in progress every day. Even, from a Zoom, we kind of learn how to, have our executive presence build every day. And then being an African-American woman with natural hair, sometimes there are some, I have my struggle days with my hair. I was trying to get it together. And so you just have to make sure your presence is always on the up and up, and then give yourself some grace. And so Women's Council help you to give yourself some grace on things that you can't anticipate or you can't go forth with. And I had never wanted to run for Chicago Association of Realtors president. That was something that I didn't anticipate. And it wasn't until I was involved in many committees at the local, state, and the national level. And it wasn't until I was pulled into conversations on the national level after the murder of George Floyd. And I'm sure they tagged me because I was involved heavily with Women's Council in the past, and just across the board got involved, I'm an RPAC Hall of Fame. So I understood the advocacy piece. And so when they were showing me all these emails and social media comments, I was like, oh, whoa, whoa, what's happening here? And so just kind of having, and didn't come from a place of attacking, but say, hey, let's just come from a place of understanding. And, Women's Council, we know how to resolve conflict. And because I don't want to say we have conflict in our networks, we just kind of work with each other. And sometimes we know how to work with different personalities and situations. And so that is one of the biggest things that has taught me. So fast forward, I had thought about COVID. So I live alone, but my parents don't live far. And so I'm a person that I'm real involved with my family on the weekends. They know I go with my nephews, and my parents are 80-ish. They're 80. And so COVID kind of shut everything down, and they were very nervous. And so I was like people were on Instacart. I was like, that's where I get my conversation at the grocery store. So I was like, hey, talking to people. And then I said, so what can I do now? I said, sure, I'll just be treasurer, and then I'll get my finished school. I just looked into it. Next thing you know, I'm in school. Some classes were in person. So I'm in person at mid-year writing finals. I'm running as president-elect. So I'm doing all these things because that's what we do as former presidents of Women's Council. So I wanted to make sure I was an example, not only for me, but to other people who look like me, that if I can do all this, there's nothing that you can't do. And asking for help, it kind of helped me ask for help from people from all walks of life. Because I think sometimes we get in a silo from people from our culture, from people from our state. And I think this volunteering has opened up a whole network of friends, colleagues, and opportunities that I didn't even know I would have for myself. So where this ends, I don't know, but I did finish in December, and I'll be flying back, and I haven't decided if I'm going to walk or not, but I did sign up to get a cap and gown, so because I paid for it. But from the Women's Council, I think that's just kind of where everything started. So from me going to finishing my degree, from me going to president, and I know the commissioner, she was in NARLA Academy. I know that was a good class, but 2018, we were probably the best class. So I'm sure her class was lovely, but those are things that I think I didn't really see that, because my actual first national conference, I didn't go until I was sent by Women's Council. So I probably never would have tapped into that network had I didn't go to from a scholarship and from that camaraderie and the sister, and even though there are men, brotherhood that exists within that organization that's very accepted, because they kind of see how you are. And my theme, even though I hate themes, is kind of come as you are, and not necessarily come prepared, but just make sure you have an open mind, and don't let yourself talk you into something that you don't want to do before you even get there. So just come and figure it out as you go along. So that's my story. And I just want to make sure I stuck under the 5 minutes that you said, Tony.
Miss Sarah, thank you so much. We appreciate you, taking time with us, because you are a busy lady. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much. So now we have Miss Raquel Lavender, who not only served in leadership roles at Women's Council, but she was also the 2018 past president of the Atlanta chapter of the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. She is fully bilingual, both English and Spanish, and has been in real estate since 2001. She is one of the top producing agents at Atlanta's Keller Williams Realty. She is a community partner of Latino Community Fund of Georgia, which has provided over 100 scholarships to children. What I love about Raquel is when she was told not to volunteer by her broker because he said she would lose money in deals, she proved him wrong. She not only did not lose money, she made more money than she did the year before. Mana Raquel, please share your story with us.
Well, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. I want to first publicly thank Deborah Gilmore, the national past president, because she made the introduction to Tawny. And then, of course, Tawny and I had a great conversation and decided that maybe it was a good idea for me to share my story. And it wasn't my broker, but it was someone that was attending the state installation of the Women's Council of Realtors Georgia. And it's someone that I know, and came around and said, great network. This is all awesome, he said, and of course it was a guy. not part of our sisterhood, right? He said, I could count with one hand how many of these real estate agents are actually producers. He said, they spend their time just volunteering and they're really not producing. And at the time, I just didn't know how to answer. And I kind of ignored his comment and went on to speak to somebody else. But immediately, I said to myself, I'm going to prove him wrong. And I'm going to prove him, if he was saying that, how many more people think the same way, including ourselves? How many members do we have in our networks that they're members, but when you ask them to volunteer, they say, oh no, I don't have time. I have too much going on. I have children. I have whatever, any reason why they can't. But I have heard many times that volunteering, taking on leadership positions was a detriment to your business. So when I was the president-elect for the NAREP Atlanta chapter, I talked to my coach. So that's the key too. I will give an advice. If you don't have a coach, hire a coach. I talked to my coach and she asked me, she said, next year you're going to be president. How are you prepared? What are your goals? And I told her, I said, well, I always heard that you lose business when you take on leadership positions. So my goal is to maintain or improve my production. And she said, okay, I'm going to hold you accountable to that. And that is exactly what I did. I was able to increase my production for the year that I was a president. I will say that to be able to lead a board of directors or lead anything, especially when it's volunteers. I heard John Maxwell say that the hardest people to lead are volunteers because they're not getting paid to do. So they have to embrace your vision and your passion so that they can do not only what you ask them to do, but they will even do more if they embrace your vision, what you have for them. And I was very blessed to have that, to have an amazing board of directors that I was able to leverage my time, and I cherry picked them to make sure that they were the best at whatever they were going to do. The events director was a former wedding director. The secretary, of course, was somebody that had worked in banking. I mean, not the secretary, the treasurer. And in every position was like that. They were handpicked because they were already great at whatever that was, and they really knew that job well. So leverage was the key for me. When that comment that I mentioned that I started with, I made it a point, and I am with NAREP, and the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, NAREP. I became a NAREP 10 certified trainer. And what is the NAREP 10? It's the 10 principles to achieve a mature understanding of wealth and prosperity. So with the NAREP 10, principle number 2 says to be in the top 10% of your profession, because being good is not good enough. So I said, okay, if I am a certified trainer, then I had to lead by example. And I made it a goal that not only I had always been in the top 20% in my office, but I said, I'm not only going to be in the top 20%, I'm going to be in the top 10%. And I set that as a goal. Another principle that I would like to share with you ladies and gentlemen, I think there's some gentlemen in here, minimize debt. Number 3 is live below your means and be ready for the next recession. And who knows that in our business, there are always up and downs in the economy. And we're going through a little bit of a change in our markets, right? So, but with that goes minimizing debt, because debt is the biggest enemy to wealth. So I said, okay, that is the other thing that I need to do. I need to pay off my debt. So all credit cards, the payment plans that I had set up with the IRS, because I was spending all of my commission checks and I was not thinking about that I had to pay. What is that? You have to pay taxes at the end of the year? So I learned my lesson, pay them off. And now it's no debt. And the other one that really touched me hard was principle number 9, and that is be generous with people that are less fortunate, because philanthropy feeds the spirit and gives more purpose to your work. So that what it comes down to my scholarships. So in 2017, my family and I decided that we're going to create a scholarship fund for kids that want to participate in extracurricular activities so that they can be able to do it and their families can afford it. So we call it the Dream Big Sport in our scholarships. And I wrote the first check for 8 scholarships. And to 2022, we have sponsored 165 children. This year, I'm so happy because last month I was approached by someone that has a benevolent fund, and they're going to donate $10,000 towards the scholarship. So that alone is going to take care of 40 scholarships. So this is what gives purpose to my business. The volunteering part has allowed me to meet people that I would have never volunteered. The first meeting ever in being in real estate with only a few months of being in the business was to a women's council of realtors. And it was my former broker who invited me. And she said, you need to attend this and you need to. And she was the one that inspired me. And seeing all the women with Women's Council, it was like, this is it. This is what I need to do. And being able to give back to the community to support our business. And I would encourage you all to find something that speaks to your heart and give back to the community. We are very blessed to be in the business that we're in. We make more money than some people with PhD degrees, so in most cases. So use that as a way to give back to the community, but never forget to give back to the realtor community too. And that is through our involvement with the Women's Council, with NAR, which the state Association of Realtors, and I have volunteered for all of them, literally all of them. So it's just, I mean, it wasn't for Women's Council, of course, I would be so blessed to be speaking with you guys and being right here. And I will say, after hearing the other women speak before me, I feel like I don't know why Tawny invited me, because I am nowhere near the level of stardom as all these other women that spoke before me. So I will say thank you so much for allowing me the time to talk. And I hope that even one little thing that I said today may inspire you to do something else with your businesses and your networks and whatever it is that speak to your heart. So thank you.
Raquel, please, lady, if I had more time, I would have read more of your resume, okay? You are a bomb. You are a boss lady. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. And if my mama from Georgia is on the call, thank you, Miss Deborah Gilmore, for introducing me to Raquel. And Deborah Gilmore, by the way, is one of our past National Women's Council presidents. So it's trivia time again. We have Stacy Korlak from Arizona. And what I like about Stacy, just a quick story about Stacy. When I posted on Facebook, I was flying into Arizona to visit my brother who lives in Arizona. And I posted on Facebook, and Stacy called me right when I landed and said, do you want me to pick you up from the airport? That's what you love about Women's Council, the sisterhood. And I said, no, I got to rent a car because I have to babysit my brother's grandkids later. So I'm like, I have to rent a car. But then she said, you know what? I'm going to plan a dinner with, fellow Women's Council members and host it for you. And she hosted it for me. And I was able to meet so many ladies from Arizona. So I love the sisterhood of Women's Council. And I thank you, Stacy, for that. That was such a great feeling. And I appreciate you. So, Stacy, our first question.
Yes, well, thank you, Tawny. I appreciate you. We had a lot of fun that weekend. So our first question today, ladies and men, what are the 3 states that have the most members in order? Oh, we already have Barbara Mills responding.
Barbara, you can't, Barbara.
I think she has the answer saved.
Auto saved.
Yeah, she's so quick. You know, her and Renee, man, you guys share the love. Sharing is caring. Okay, let's see. After Barbara, who we have here. I'm going down. Sorry. I went too far up the chat box. Let me scroll down here.
I have to say,
I'm
members
sorry.
are studying that website. They know this.
Okay, tell me about it. Okay, here we go. So Diana, wait, say what we got? California. Nope, sorry, Diana. I wish California was number one. So does Sabrina, but that's not the answer.
Looks like Debbie Lenteo.
Hold on, is it? Oh, yep, you're right. Debbie, you got the right answer. And the answer is Florida, California,
Yes.
then Texas. Yeah, we kind of beat out Texas, man. Good
Yeah.
job, California.
Florida's got it going on. They have like 2,000 plus members there. They're just really knocking it out of the park.
Yes, they are. So, Madam Stacy, who's running for 2024 National Treasurer, what's our next question?
Yes. So our next question is, who is the largest local network nationwide?
No Barbara, no Renee. Okay, scrolling down. Hold on.
Okay.
What we got? Okay, scrolling down. Okay, I got one. Gina, San Francisco.
Yay, thank you.
What's up, Gina? Long
How
time.
many members?
Wow, over 200, I think, 250, I'll say.
I was going to say 250, 275. They are really,
Wow.
yeah.
And by the way, thank you to that person that said the San Francisco network. We're hovering around 88, but I like that. Thanks.
Good positive vibes there.
Yes. Okay. And so the winners, you will be receiving Amazon gift cards, from our dear beloved Stacy. So we'll be emailing that to you. Thank you very much, Miss Stacy.
Thank you, Tani, for the opportunity.
We appreciate you. Okay. So we have my good friend Novelette. Novelette was the one who inspired me to obtain my first leadership position at our state association. And she is one busy woman. She's the owner broker of Morgan Real Estate Brokerage here in Los Angeles. She has served as the Social Service Commissioner for the City of Torrance since 2020. She's the 2023 chair of our state association Reimagine Committee. She serves as the board of directors at all three levels at her local association, at our state association, and at the National Association of Realtors. She also, along with me, is a very busy and active officer at California Association of Black Real Estate Professionals. She's been in real estate for over 20 years. She is the 2022 past president of the South Bay Network here in California. And guess what? If you like oxtails, like my Southern mama does, Betty English, she makes a mean and most delicious oxtails, period. She would challenge anyone who says otherwise. So, if you want to challenge her, Novelette's the woman. So, Miss Novelette, please share your story.
Oh my, thank you, Tony. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm hearing all these stories. I'm thinking, like I did when you first texted me, I'm thinking, are you joking? I thought it was a joke when you sent me this, but it's just trying to match all those ladies that spoke earlier. It's just absolutely amazing. I'm just in awe. And of course, Gina, I remember when Gina was president, and I in my head, I kind of worship her. She was just so no nonsense, and just getting things done. And she's not afraid to speak up to anyone, no matter who they are. So she's kind of my hero. And not to forget Sabrina, of course. Sabrina, always mine. Okay, so let's see. Let me try to be a bit organized. Well, I guess I kind of started, I'll move a little bit quickly in that when I opened my own brokerage, at first I started out of my home office and I was there for some time, I would say like 5 years. And I was really comfortable, it was convenient. And I realized it wasn't doing me a lot of good because I was kind of business up here and I was in my pajamas in the bottom. So I wasn't really prepared to meet people, to go and do things. I was doing everything at home. And so I kind of got pushed out when my husband started to work from home, back in 2018 before the shutdown. And I realized it was not a good environment to be in because well, he's in computers, he's IT. And when he's coding on the phone, I have to be quiet. I can't say anything, do anything. And in my work environment, I like to have music. I like to have an ambiance and everything. And so he kind of indirectly pushed me out to open my own office outside the home, which was also another scary thing. And I realized my trend seems to be is that I need that push, that little thing, that scary thing to move me forward. Not like you, Tony. I'm not going to jump out of a plane. I'm not that crazy. But that push, I seem to need that. Otherwise, I start to get kind of bored and lose my way somehow. And so anyway, I went through all that bits and got involved a little bit more with CR back then at the time. And around shortly after that, I would say a few years later, I got a call from the then president. I want to say it was 2019 or something, I forgot what it was. Gave me a call and wanted me to get involved with Women's Council. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, whatever, not now, I'm busy. And I dismissed him. And then a year later, the current president, I think she's on the call, came after me again and wanted me to be president-elect and all that. And I'm like, seriously, stop it. And then she was smart. So she came back to me right before the year end and she goes, who do you know? And I'm like, are you kidding me? What do you mean, who do I know? What don't I? Chopped liver? Hello? And that's how she hooked me. Claudia, you know that was you. And that's how she hooked me. And I think that was a scary decision because here I'm in a position now where when you're a director, you're with a bunch of other directors. So you're kind of like a group of all. But when you're a Women's Council, especially when you become the president, you're the head. So basically, I have the buck stop there. And that was kind of a scary position to be in. And she was really good at holding my hand and getting me comfortable with being there. But once I was on my own, that was the scary bit. And I think what I've learned over time, because I don't think I was best president at all. And I think there's a lot of things I could have done better, much better. But what I learned is that unlike your company, if something doesn't go right, whoever you hire, you can fire them, whatever. But Women's Council, you can't do that. You have to be able to work with each other, respect each other, and you have to know that you're a team. And communications is so huge. And there's a lot of stuff that gets misinterpreted if you don't, open that channel. And so one of the things that I cherish, and what really made me appreciate being in Women's Council is that I learned how to, public speaking was my thing. Of course, I know a lot of people have the issue too, where I had issue with speaking in front of a huge crowd because I thought first, I have a bad habit of speaking too fast. And then when I speak fast, my accent comes out a little bit. And then people's like, what is she saying? I'm thinking, listen faster, you can hear me. So so I thought I wanted to take the opportunity to learn how to present myself better and to be able to speak to a crowd without like freezing or something, which it's funny. Years ago, back when I was a child, I had a presentation that I did back in my Jamaica days. I think it was maybe 8 or 10. And I had to go on stage and dance. It was fun. It was an ABBA song. I remember that now. It was an ABBA song. I had to do a ballet thing. And I got on stage and I froze. And I thought, and so that stays in my head all these years. And I thought, you know what? That was a different girl. I can do better. I'll teach her. And so this was an extreme challenge for me. And so with that, it kind of encouraged me to go beyond that, to apply to other places, like take more leadership role, like get on the commission, which was a little scary thing too, because you had all these people applying, and then you have to hope that, my timer went off.
You had herself on a timer. I love it.
Well, because I thought I don't want to go crazy. But basically, what Women's Council taught me was that that to be the best leader or the best leader you can be is that you need to be more comfortable speaking, not just in a crowd, but to be able to be comfortable with yourself and just be. And what was the other thought I had? And that grace. I think that was one of the biggest things I learned from Women's Council, because when you're in certain situation, dealing with other members, or in my case, so it's in the Department of Management, I always have a lot of fun tenants to work with, and some of my clients too. And so there's certain things you want to say and you realize that's not the way to go. And sometimes you might have slipped and say something, and you need to know when you need to kind of stand up and say, hey, I was wrong, I apologize, and move forward. It gives you the grace where you don't feel, where it takes the shame away. Just admit it, and just be confident with taking these challenges, these chances, because it's scary, but at the same time, it just, after you've gone through it, you realize, wow, that wasn't so bad. And so the only problem is you keep looking for the next one and the next one, because in my case, I have to keep busy. If I'm not doing something, it's like, I'm a bit cliche. It's like, I'm not religious, but the idea that the devil's idle hands, the devil's workshop, that's me. To keep myself out of trouble, I have to keep myself busy. And, I think in motion. So I believe in that. So I feel just keep myself going, doing things to just move forward. Because if you're not growing, you're not living really, I don't think.
Well, thank you
So-
very much, Ms. Novelette, for
It's
sharing.
something went over. Shame.
Thank you. And not least, but she is our host of today's, the network is hosting this, and she's the president of the network. It's our 2023 Madam President of LA Beverly Hills Network, Jay Wu. Besides being our awesome network president this year, Jay is currently also serving another term as an elected West Side Neighborhood Council board member. She's also the co-chair of the American Cancer Society Cal Spirit event. Plus, she's the group leader at the West Side chapter of the Exchange. She's the co-director of Heller Realty, located here in Los Angeles, California, and has been in real estate since 1995. Here's a fun fact about Jay. She used to be a drummer in a marching band. I present to you our 2023 LA Beverly Hills president, Ms. Jay Wu.
Well, Tawny, thank you so much. What an amazing program you put together. You are tireless in your efforts of how you are able to bring this network together. Being a rookie here of Women's Council and only having served as president-elect for a month before becoming president of our network, I am truly learning so much about many of you and the network and how to provide guidance and leadership in a warm and compassionate manner to my network. For me, volunteering has always been something I've strived for when I became a parent. I have two children, 2 boys, amazing, kind human beings. And I immigrated here when I was 7, and my parents worked all the time. And having parents who did not speak the language, worked $2.25 an hour so they could put food on the table, coming to this country, wanting to provide a better life. Of course, they were not available to volunteer. They were not around to be there for any parent-teacher conferences. What do you mean? A parent showing up for any of my childhood teacher engagement things? Absolutely not. They've never seen me play a single sport. They didn't come out for any of our performances. That just culturally was not a part of what they were raised to be because they didn't grow up in this country. But when I had children, I said, things are going to be different. Mama's going to be there for them. And the beauty about being in real estate, as so many of my other peers had expressed, is we can be there. I chaperoned their field trips. I was room parent. I was president of the parent organization, you name it, fundraising committee, room parent, jogathon cheerleader, head of every committee you can imagine. But all of these activities help me to be present for my kids, first and foremost. And then secondly, be very visible amongst the other parents in the school, as well as the teachers, administration, et cetera. I really got to know them. They got to know me. We're still friends today. We all love having a great meal together and wine, of course. But what that did was engagement in that level of intimacy, as well as the more I gave, the more I got. And that is the bottom line of volunteering, is we give to give and not attached to the outcome. However, by giving as much as we can in a true, sincere manner, wanting to make the world a better place. And I always say, I want to leave it better than the way I found it. By giving all in that way, it is always reciprocated back to me in business, in relationships, in the wealth of friendships that I have in my life. I would honestly say, moving to Los Angeles 30 years ago from the East Coast, I knew one person. I drove across the country 2,700 miles with $200 in my pocket, and I knew one person when I landed in LA. And now 30 years later, thousands of people later, I would say I've spoken with over 10,000 people, and I know more people than an average of any of the friends that I have in my life. I know thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And I'm looking even in this room, people haven't seen in years. Dawn, yes, I know. And I've had my business coach for 23 years, but all of the relationships, the sum of the parts now as Women Council President is creating the wholeness of growing our network, the wholeness of how our network is going to thrive based upon all the years and decades of relationships that I've established, but also having that reputation of being a good volunteer, of having given back, of making an impact. But volunteer isn't just about helping others. You know, it's also a great way to build your own skills and knowledge, as my prior presenters have said. By working with others and learning from their experiences, you can gain insights, perspectives that can help you become a better real estate professional, as well as a better human being. At the end of the day, isn't that what we want to be? Better human beings. Because all of this stuff, it doesn't mean anything when you're dead. When you're gone, you can't take it with you. What impact did you leave? And for me, I came from survival, built stability in my 20s, got to success in my 30s, got to a level of significance in my 40s. And now in my 50s, I really have to say it's about the sacred level. What am I doing to give back? And, you know, coming from that place of giving back to others, sharing the wealth of experience and wisdom I was able to accumulate, the amazing relationships that I've built in this community, in this industry, and now nationally. I'm truly grateful that being connected, the support that other Women Council have given to me as transitioning into this network. Grateful that I have Tawny as my mentor in this network and all that the knowledge she's been able to share and help us continue to grow and thrive. But ultimately, that was my timer as well. I just am grateful that the more I have given as a volunteer in all the various associations that I have been a part of, and I'm loudmouth too, and I'm pretty vocal in expressing you know, the way things, you know, can happen. But all of that has led me to the road of Women's Council, which in 27 years of being in real estate, I've never heard of until 2022. So you got me now, and you're not going to get rid of me ever. I'm a part of this for life. So thank you.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you for saying yes to President-elect and then yes to President. We are so happy to have you. We're so blessed with your past volunteering experience, which we know you're going to help us grow our network even better. Thank you so much. But ladies, we're at 2:01. So it's up to you guys if you want to stay on for our network breakout session. Because we're going to go into that right now really quick and, you know, spend, 10 minutes doing that 30-second pitch. So if you're still here, you're going to be put into a room in a few seconds.
Tawny, you can put I think you have to put yourself into the Tawny English room because you're a co-host.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know you put me in a room. I thought you gave it to the other ladies. You gave me a room?
Yeah,
Oh.
because we were the couple of the facilitators had dropped off, so I had to add you as one.
Hey, Alma. I think I got on my room before. I clicked the wrong button.
Oh my goodness, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. This is awesome, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes, I was at another event today, and so I got on as soon as I could. But great, fantastic event. Of course, LA Beverly Hills, Jay and Tommy just put on a great event.
It's always good. So right now, a lot of people are leaving. I think at the now we have over 120, 100 something.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. And we'll be ending pretty soon, but we are sending out this recording. We had over 300 people.
300.
We had over 300 people registered. So we're gonna send all of them this recording information. I'm also sending, please put, before you leave, put your information in the chat here, because they also gonna receive a copy of the chat. Everyone's gonna receive a copy of this chat. So put all your referral information in here and everything. And we also have more winners, by the way. That we have more winners of all the other different positions, which I will be sending that out to people. But what they're winning is 2 free tickets to Unleash Listings. We have a whole master series that we're doing. And that series is helping more realtors get more business. It is going to be on Zoom. It is a nationwide series that we're hosting. Next week is going to be the one with Paul about, how to unleash more listings with trust and probate. We're going to be doing Unleash Listings with DSTs and installments, Unleash Listings with ADUs, how to turn your home buyer into investor in one single purchase. We have a lot of stuff in this master series. So I will be sending the winners of those tickets out, and like Claudia Diaz is one of them, and we have other winners. So we'll be sending that out with the email. And so please, before we leave, put all your information in the chat. And I thank you all for coming and stay on for the extra 15 minutes.
Yay.
Connie.
Yes, ma'am.
I have been touting your probate class to my networks here in Maryland.
Okay.
And they really want to get in contact with you. So I have your contact information, of course, but I wanted to let you know that the president of the networks are going to be contacting you, because I was like, oh, Tani does probate. Tani knows probate. Perfect. Oh, y'all need to use it.
Well, you know what, Anna, I'm glad you brought that up, because also what I'm also going to be sending out to all the network presidents is a revenue sharing opportunity. So with all of our Unleashed master classes, not only because the class is usually $25 per class, but what we're doing is giving a $10 discount to all Women's Council network members, right? Plus the network themselves would get $5 of each person who comes.
Girl, we need to get that. Come on, talk to me. You know you can do that in Maryland.
I will be sending out to all the state presidents, all the network presidents.
Send that to me now.
Okay.
Come on, hon.
Okay. Because I am a believer sharing is caring, and the more knowledge, the way we can make more money. That's how I am. I'm into that.
I just finished my Tawny wine the other day.
Oh,
did y'all get Tawny wine? Were y'all able to get Tawny wine?
I was, and I still have some.
You still have your Tawny wine? I'm telling you,
I
that
still
Tawny
have
wine
some.
was good.
Okay, I need to try that. I haven't had the pleasure of having that. Come on, Tony.
You're still doing the wine, right?
Hook
Yes,
me
I'm
up.
I'm still
feeling some
doing
kind of
the
way,
wine.
Tawny, now. I'm feeling some kind of way.
You need to hook me up.
You know what? I'm still doing the Tony wine. So guess what? The network or state that has the most attendees to these events, they get in a case with their own label on it. Okay.
Oh, nice.
And that's what I'm putting. That's what the offer I'm going to be putting in, sending to you guys, is that not only are you guys going to have a fundraising opportunity, you'll have a nationwide opportunity, right? Because every one of these are just 1 hour, but then 30 minutes after of networking. So each of your members is a true member benefit, because they will learn stuff, but then they get to network with other members outside of the area. And they're going to do the same thing with the 30-second pitch and all that good stuff. So we're going to be giving networks more money, and also an opportunity for their members to network out, with other members. So we can, help our networks fulfill their mission, their mission and vision of is a referral network, and you're going to learn more. And it's a fundraising opportunity for our networks.
Awesome. are you gonna be, you come to mid-year, right?
Oh, yeah, girl.
Are you gonna be there on the 8th?
I'll be there early. I'm coming in early. I know that.
Girl, come and see me. I'm having a governing board meeting. Come to my
Okay.
governing board meeting. Come and see my crazy.
Okay. Yes, I know I'm rolling in early. That's for sure.
Come, I would love to see you. I miss you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Anna, Natasha, Phillips.
Phillips
Ferguson.
first. Oh,
Okay.
yes, I want this. Yes.
And Barbara Mills Dubois. I love her name, right? This woman, you gotta be so darn quick on the darn thing. You're quick. I had to sit there. I forgot to do a disclaimer. Barbara, this woman won, what, 2 or 3 last time?
Two.
2. Okay, well, that's
How
because
did
you barely.
you do to type so fast, Barbara?
Exactly. It's like we have to,
They
you
say
know,
get ready. My fingertips are on the keyboard and
she knows the answers
Man.
to stuff, ladies. I mean, this woman knows her stuff. This is in women's council.
I've been in women's council for 17 years, so I better know my facts.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been same years. You have better memory than I do.
Yeah, Adriana and I joined right around the same time.
Yeah.
Same network. Yeah, we've had a lot of experiences together. So.
Yeah, we go back, precious.
And that's proof right there. Friendships last forever in women's council.
And I think too, what we will try to do with these network meetings with the Unleashed Masters, that we probably we're gonna try to do the breakout session in the middle of it all, so we can have most people stay on and everything, but it's only an hour. But we try to do that in the middle and stuff, so that people like Liz Kennedy could really pitch how great Prescott, Arizona is and things like that. And stuff. Okay, well, I'm not.
It's Prescott.
Oh, Prescott. Okay, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I am so sorry. I apologize.
Just think a biscuit.
That's right. Sorry. My apologies.
Okay.
I should have.
I'm just saving you any shame if you ever stop here.
Okay. So, and thank you, Stacy, for help sponsoring this event. We appreciate you. And
Thank you.
And thank you, Renee, for attending. I mean, Renee's great. She was our DVP when I was president, and she attends like most of our events. And Renee is running for our state treasurer for 2024. Congratulations on that. And I thank you guys. And and Lynn Van Meter is also, thank you very much for sponsoring this event. And she's running for 2024 National Liaison. So thank you for that. You'll also be seeing their videos and everything on the recap recording. So we're going to be including that and other information, and we will be emailing everybody again their gift cards. So thank you guys again for staying on. I love you all and I appreciate you all.
Thanks, Tawny.
It was really good. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Tawny.
Thank you.
Bye, ladies.
Okay, bye.
We're good.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I think the rest of these people, Tawny, I think are just, I don't think they're here.
Okay,
anymore.
we're hitting in.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kick them out.
Okay, and then oh, wait. I thought I stopped Facebook. I'm just gonna end it.
Okay.